The other day, I finished my first 72-hour water fast, and I wanted to share my experience with all of you. So I have tried to do a 72-hour fast in the past, but I never could quite get to the point where I would accomplish a full 72 hours. It's a huge mental ordeal to go into a fast, and I could never just see myself all the way through. I would end up talking myself out of it. But this time, because I set up an online community on Facebook filled with people who were going to take the plunge and start fasting with me, because I had that community, it helped to motivate me and hold me accountable, and thus I finally finished my 72-hour water fast. So a little background information, I am somebody who has done intermittent fasting roughly on and off for the last 3 or so years. And I've experimented with other fasting as well. I've done, I think they call it the warrior diet, where you fast for 20 hours and then you allow yourself 4 hours to eat. And I've also, I've done other fasts where I've done 30 hours fasting with only water. And then I've gotten up to 60 hours trying to hit the 75-hour water fast. So I am experienced with fasting, and I would encourage anybody who's looking into doing an extended water fast, something longer than 24 hours, that you really ought to try intermittent fasting and definitely clean up your diet before attempting a water fast, or else you may find you're going to crash and burn, and it may discourage you from going any further with fasting, when really you can have success with fasting. You just have to go it in a premeditative way. So I did this 72-hour water fast not only to improve my relationship with food and how I look at food and my patterns and habits around eating, but I also did it to help reset my gut health, and also for the anti-aging qualities as well. Not only that, but recently after eating, I've noticed that I have a lot of discomfort in my gut and my abdomen from a mixture of gas and pain or whatever. So I wanted to do this as a way to completely eliminate everything out of my gut except from the microbes that are in there, and then reintroduce food slowly and mindfully so I could try to determine what food sensitivities I have. So I was really excited to get this started. I had my last bite of food right before 6 p.m. on a Thursday, which means that I would break the fast 72 hours after that, which would be about 6 p.m. on Sunday. I use the app as well as the group on Facebook. We use the app Life to kind of track our fasting, because otherwise trying to count how long you've been fasting for can be hard after you've had nothing to eat and you're totally exhausted. So the Life app is great for tracking your fast. And in fact, if you want to join my private Facebook group all about fasting, about intermittent fasting, fasting in general, water fasting, please join the group at the link in the description below. So my first day of fasting, the first 24 hours, anytime I fasted, is relatively easy. It just kind of takes keeping myself a little preoccupied and a little busy so that I'm not thinking about food. And also just having food around isn't too tough for me, because I have experience with intermittent fasting and other lengths of fasting in the past that I can get through 24 hours pretty easily. But it wasn't until the second and the third final day that the fast really kicked my ass. So I had really a hard time sleeping the second and the third night. I had some back pain that was coming up and I felt very uneasy. So I had difficulty sleeping. And then the next day after my difficulty sleeping, I just was really exhausted, felt really lethargic. I had this idea in my head before I started fasting that I would use this time as a spiritual time to kind of meditate and really ruminate and think about why I'm doing this, and Also, I just wanted to use this as a time to really decompress and to read and just to kind of like chill out, and all of that flew out the window. I was so exhausted and I couldn't really concentrate on much of anything, so I just ended up having a complete like Netflix and chill kind of thing where I just watched and binged movies all weekend because I just, there wasn't no way. I tried to get up and be pretty active, you know, I tried to push myself a little bit here and there, but I found that I felt really dizzy upon standing up. So that wasn't fun. So that was my body trying to tell myself like, hey, you need to chill out, you need to just relax and take it easy on this. And I believe that is the case as human beings. We are more human doings than we are human beings, where we always have to be preoccupied in doing something. So I think the hardest thing for this wasn't like hunger pains. I didn't really experience any hunger pains, but it was like my mental attitude around food and my habitual eating. So like if I was kind of bored or just kind of like sitting around watching TV, watching Netflix, the first thing that would pop in my head is, oh, you know, like what would fill the time great is some food, like you should eat. Or anytime my partner ate, I thought about eating. So it was kind of just like this mental thing, more or less anything else, of just trying to release my habits and the patterns I have surrounding food and my desire to break the anxiety or to stifle any boredom by eating. On the third day, I woke up with almost like kidney pain that kind of radiated from my kidneys up and down my back. And that was kind of weird and unexpected. And while I encourage anybody to ask your doctor first before doing anything like a 3-day fast, I encourage you to listen to your body and to also drink a lot of water. It's my understanding that I wasn't drinking enough water and I didn't have enough electrolytes in my body. So I was drinking water with a little Himalayan salt added to it to help revitalize my electrolytes, but I don't think I was necessarily drinking enough. So yeah, that pain kind of caught me off guard and it kind of added to how shitty I felt. So I ended up just relishing in just like relaxing and just being gentle with myself. I did a castor oil pack over my kidneys to try to help the pain there. And then lo and behold, 72 hours came and I was ready to break the fast. I was more than ready. I mean, the day before I spent 2 hours online just looking up recipes of stuff that I wanted to eat. So I was ready to break the fast, but I did it mindfully. I did it with bone broth, which I cooked in a crock pot for 2 nights. And it was one of the most delicious things I've ever had. Breaking my fast was a really beautiful experience, and maybe that's where the spiritual aspect kicked in, because I was more mindful with each bite that I took, and I was definitely more appreciative, and I feel like my taste buds tasted food more than they've ever tasted food in the past. I was really mindful with my consumption of the bone broth. I did a small bowl, and then I waited about an hour later and had another bowl, and then called it a night. And then from there, I've been slowly reintroducing food back into my diet. And to help with my kidneys, I also started drinking some pickle juice to help restore my electrolyte balance in my body. Since then, the day after breaking the fast, I was still kind of out of commission. So I would encourage anybody who's doing a fast to make sure that like the last couple of days of your fast, if you're doing a 3-day fast, are done at home. So you're doing it on a weekend or while on vacation or something, because you do not want to be working while you're fasting during those last 2 days, because they are quite hell. But the day after I quit fasting, I was still pretty lethargic and still trying to like get a grip. So I was drinking a lot of water, slowly reintroducing foods. And then later on that night though, I had this insane amount of energy start coursing through me, and I wanted to clean and take care of a bunch of stuff, like I don't know why, but it felt great to have my energy back. as I said, I encourage anybody to talk to their doctor first and think about this real mindfully, and also ease into a water fast before you dive into a really deep one, because you don't really know what to expect. I thought it was gonna be easy for me, given that I eat relatively healthy and I already intermittent fast and I do the warrior diet thing occasionally, but it still was it still did a number on me. So take your time and be very mindful about doing something like fasting. And if you're looking for a support system while fasting, definitely click the link in the description below to join my fasting group. Anyway, since completing the fast too, I also feel like I have a better grip around food. I was almost like addicted to chocolate there for a minute before I started fasting, and now I have no need for chocolate at all, and I don't really even crave sweets. I kind of more or less are just looking for sustenance and proper nutrition, which can be found in chocolate as well, but I was overdoing it and I haven't had any chocolate in like 5 days now, which is really great for me. I feel like I have a better relationship with food, and I have more gratitude around food as well. And I have a lot more empathy as well. Not that I didn't have it before, but I have a lot more empathy towards people who go without food for an extended period of time, because I can't imagine when you're forced to do it and you don't elect to do it. So it was an incredible learning experience, something that I recommend for people, especially Americans who have plenty, so that you can experience what it's like fasting and going without food and kind of humble yourself. So if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to my channel. Comment below if you've ever fasted, or if you intermittent fast, or if you've done a water fast or a master fast. I want to hear all about your experience, so please share with me. And don't forget to join my group by clicking the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.